Happy birthday, boy. How are you feeling after your birthday? This is you have your own birthday special episode.
That's nuts.
You must be
Thank you.
Must be a big deal.
I don't know why.
The king of MAFS. Did you have fun at your birthday?
I think it was very overwhelming. I guess I had fun.
A lot went on, which we're going to unpack now in this episode because there were so many storylines. Enough storylines to make a whole MAFS episode in itself.
Yeah, I know.
But hey, the festivities continue. We're here in the studio. Vibes are high.
Yeah, I give up.
Okay, let's take this off. Let's get into it. You won't be able to take me seriously with this thing on. Before we get into your birthday, can you give us a quick update on the 2027 MAFS cast? Because you're out at the moment getting all the info.
Yes. In our last episode, we reported that Dr. Love was joining the panel.
Yeah.
But now it's been 2 weeks, so we've had 2 dinner parties, 2 commitment ceremonies.
And
we haven't spotted her yet.
Oh.
So I've actually spoken to some of the cast members, and they've actually said it was just John and Alessandra on the couch. Just putting it out there that, based on our intel, she had signed on for the series.
Yeah.
And she hasn't been spotted yet, so maybe they've changed their mind.
Maybe she's going to be this season's intruder.
Well, they could have a part of the series, just not on the couch every week. So
yeah.
And the other update is after we leaked the cast,
Yes.
some of the casts are getting treated like celebrities. I was there when Lily and her husband Jimmy were getting hounded by these eager fans at the hotel.
They must hate that.
I know.
Being treated as celebrities.
It's so funny though, because if we didn't leak the cast, no one would know who they are. But
No.
We've sort of already made them famous.
Yep. The wind's already in the sails, but yeah, we've got a few more months before it airs to the Australian public.
I thought it was going to be a boring season, and I think I can't even keep up with the drama, to be honest.
So that's the 2027 MAFS cast, which
Yes.
we need a whole nother episode for that. But this episode, we're focusing on your birthday. You look fantastic. And it was a lot of fun. We were all there, and a lot of the 2026 MAFS cast were in attendance.
Yeah.
You're still in comms with a lot of them. How did you enjoy your birthday? Let's start off with that.
It was a lot, to be honest, having to deal with all these personalities, having 2026 casts. Obviously, that was the worst season of all time. So there was a few diva demands on the night.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of diva demands, we had a guest in the studio this week.
Yeah, we caught up with Alan and Gia.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, I'm friends with Alan, so this is why I just wanted to give him an opportunity to speak out about everything. He's sort of been silent about it all. Speak to Gia and see how she's going with everything. It's been almost a year since they all signed up for the show, so I think her head is in a whole different place right now, so...
Let's hear the chat.
Hello.
4 years it's taking you to get me in here. Who are we getting in, Katie or Jess from Love Triangle?
Poor Alan. Hey, we're joined by a very special guest today.
Do I look at the camera or do I just...
No, you look at me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
For those who don't know who you are, can you sort of introduce yourself? How did we meet?
I think you stalked me down after Love Triangle. No, I didn't. After Love Triangle, I think... I don't even know how we sort of met. Was it... You probably remember better than me. We were just... Yeah, I don't know. At the vodka party, wasn't it? The first one, was it?
Yeah. I think we invited you there.
Help me out a bit here, mate.
No, I'm asking you.
A few big nights in between. So, I think we sort of met through the back end of Love Triangle, and then obviously that was a success. And I don't know, we just sort of started talking, having messages and that, and met you at the party that day, and you've been stuck with me ever since. So, and then obviously I've been coming to your birthdays the last 3 or 4 years, and then most recently I think we had the vodka party, and where I met Gia, and
Let's take us back to your first meeting. How that happened?
With Gia?
Yeah, because I think people were sort of accusing at the start of the relationship. Everyone was saying, this is set up, this is for publicity, this is... talk us through it, because we don't know the full story. So tell us
initially
how that initial sort of contact with Gia happened. Because obviously I used to call you up and tell you give you updates on what I was doing day to day. I'll just be like, this crazy person named Gia has stormed out of the hotel again.
Yeah.
And she invited me to go to the pub.
I think it was a day, I was at the gym one day and you were FaceTiming me. I was like, what are you FaceTiming me about? Anyway, I answered the call and then there was two girls in the background. One of them was Gia and the other one was Bec, I think, and they were drinking at the pub complaining about their husbands and so anyway, Gia had some questions about an ex. You know, I used to see Scott's ex for a bit and yeah, Gia had a few questions. I think she was a little bit, you know, concerned about a few things with her and Scott, and anyway, I sort of had a bit of a chat with her and had a chat with you, and then at the end of it, I was like, she was right, you know, she's not a bad sort, and didn't really sort of think of anything from that, and then I think MAFS sort of wrapped up after that, like a week or two later, and we'd stayed in contact, and yeah.
So tell us about this first meeting.
So we'd been talking for a few weeks before we'd met at the vodka party, and yeah, it was pretty, you know, we're kind of butting heads a bit. We weren't really on the same page with stuff. She was, you know, obviously coming off the stuff with MAFS and stuff, and yeah, it was obviously, would have been hard for her to sort of, you know, come back to the real world from that. So I think our stars weren't sort of aligning at that point. So I went to Thailand, and then when I got back from Thailand, I met her at the vodka party. And yeah, we sort of just hit it off from there. A week later, she'd moved back to Melbourne, and we actually shared a kiss on that night at the vodka party. She dragged me into the men's toilet, so that was fun. And and yeah, I think.
And weren't you there with another girl though?
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Alice there?
I remember. Yeah, we spoke to Gia about this.
No, so.
Well, maybe we'll hold off and ask Gia about it.
We asked Gia about that. Yeah, I came with Dave, and Dave had a girl there, and then there was another girl with him. Is that what you're referring to? That one bird? That.
Oh yeah. Well, isn't that it? Yeah.
Anyway, I was thinking maybe I've been caught out here, but nah. All good.
So up until this point, what did you know about Gia?
Well, obviously from speaking to you on, like, I'd call you every day and you'd be on set, or you'd be like waiting out the front, waiting for something to happen, and a lot of it was Gia running away and, you know, causing issues, and yeah, I think that's all I really knew about her at the start. So when I got to know her after the show, I knew MAFS was obviously coming up early this year, and I thought to myself, if I watch this show, it's going to make me think, it's going to make me have like this Gia reality TV opinion about her, instead of me just being like, okay, let's just remove all the with the TV. And I even said this to her a few times. I was like, we need to stop talking about MAFS. We just let's be organic and let's talk about, you know, real everyday life stuff. And when we dropped the whole MAFS talk, everything just fell into play. Everything went so well, and we sort of went from strength to strength. Especially when she moved back from the Gold Coast. I think we needed to get out of that little MAFS bubble and then into our own little bubble, and that's when we started to really, you know, thrive and take off.
Yeah, and what was different about Gia compared to previous girlfriends?
I think my biggest thing in past relationships, I never really felt like completely secure, or like, you know, few social media issues with ex-partners, like messaging other guys and replying and stuff. And with Gia, I think right from the start, she communicates really well. She's, you know, she almost needs that validation as well. And I needed that at the start, especially early on. But yeah, she's always made me feel very secure. She reminds me every day of how she feels. So yeah, I've never really had that in a relationship before. And especially allowing me to be in her daughter's life so early, it was, yeah, I could tell she was serious about this. So it wasn't just, you know, wasn't never going to be just a fling.
And that is the thing, you weren't just getting into a relationship with Gia, you are obviously with
Yeah, I've
too,
obviously had to step into a stepdaddy sort of role, and, you know, at the start I thought, you know, I didn't know how I was sort of going to go, but, you know, I like to think I've done pretty well, and stepping in, like, obviously I've got Fev, who's my dog, and that, and I've had for 10 years, but like a dog and a child is obviously a bit different, a different kettle of fish, but yeah, she's awesome. We get along really well. I take her to cheerleading. You know, we go to the park every night after school. She's like my little parrot now. All my little sayings I say around the house, she's in the background saying the same crap. So, yeah, she's like a mini version of myself already, I reckon. So, yeah, it's been really good.
Gia, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. 15 weeks pregnant. I'm feeling really good, really content in life right now.
Did you think you'd be here pregnant 1 year off after MAFS? I feel like you had your sights destined to be an influencer.
I feel like initially when Scott and I broke up, my thought process was very different coming off MAFS. I did really think, I'll just do influencing. I even said to you, potentially OnlyFans. Obviously, that's not an option now. Wouldn't be anyway. But yeah, my vision was different. But ultimately, I did go on MAFS to meet somebody, and that's what I did. Yeah,
because I was even talking like, not so post-MAFS, but like this time last year. Like you were excited to go on MAFS. And like here you are a whole year later with a whole different story, right?
Yeah, but like I feel like I don't regret any of it. MAFS brought me to Alan, it brought us our baby girl, and I feel like where life is right now, I'm just really grateful I'm out of the other side of that whole MAFS bubble.
Well, congrats.
Thank you.
She's landed on her feet, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's got there in the end.
You have to say it.
Sorry.
Well,
I've landed on my feet too, so I'll say that.
I feel like Alan has changed you, Gia. You're a completely different person from the Gia we met this time last year.
She was crazy this time last year.
No,
do you think you've changed?
No, I feel like I'm just more myself now. I feel like people, like I've always been this girl. People just couldn't see it because of the TV and the cameras and the drama. And I think for me, when I'm in a relationship or marriage on TV, which, wasn't real, I think I'm a different version of myself. I said to Alan the other day, like, the version of Gia he gets isn't the same as the other person got, because when I don't feel safe, when I don't feel secure and loved and whole in a relationship, they don't get this soft, calm, easygoing Gia. Like,
well, I wouldn't call it calm, but
well,
yeah.
I don't run off, so we've made some progress.
Was that,
I don't run off on him and take off. So.
Is it a rule I feel like Alan put in early in the relationship that this is, I remember him telling me that he had to tell you that this is real life, not MAFS, so you can't just run away
you run
when
away,
things get...
Producer 10 blocks down the road running, chasing after you. Like, if you want to run away, then like that's the decision you want to make at the time, but you've got to actually come back to face it, not wait till two freaking producers pull us aside to put us in a room to chat, like.
But I feel like with Alan, he makes me not want to run away. I think that there's a difference where I'm like, I don't want to run away. I don't feel the need to run away for attention because I'm not secure in the relationship, or like do big things to like gain his affection. We just fit, like it just works.
And now looking back at your experience, do you have any regrets with how you handled yourself on the show?
Of course I do, yeah. Like I've said a few times, I wish I wasn't how I was with the women. I wish I didn't behave as poorly as I did, but
you were like under the influence a lot of the time too, and very like...
It was a very toxic environment. I know for me, I'm not somebody who does well in a controlled environment. I'm somebody who likes freedom, being, told I can't get a coffee, can't call my daughter, all those things just for me mentally, like, isn't going to bring a good Gia out of me. So for me, like I think he gets the best version of me, everyone does, because I'm not in that environment anymore.
And having a girl, what was sort of your reaction to that?
We were shocked. I 100% thought it was a boy because with my daughter, I was really sick and I thought, well, I'm not really sick. The things I've been craving are like meat, like I made him get me like Bunnings sausages like a couple times a day on the weekends. I'm like, I need a steak, I need sausages. And just with Willa, I wanted like milkshakes and cupcakes. So I was shocked that we were having a girl, but I think a girl will be good for us.
And Gia, you moved in pretty quickly. Sort of tell us about that. Then you guys obviously decided to renovate and make it a home. So tell us sort of...
I don't even know how the decision came up. I think just mentally I was going through a lot when the show was airing, and I was at Alan's house every day anyway. And I was... And
it was hard to sort of juggle Willa as well. Like we kind of had to sort of like
She was at my mum's a lot when I would see Alan, and I was like, you're going to have to meet her. We're going to have to just, are we doing it or not? Like, let's just throw ourselves in this. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. At least we tried. So I think we both just were like, I think we both decided. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
We just decided that you may as well move in. I started like bringing stuff slowly, taking over one side of his bathroom, taking over drawers.
Sitting out the front of my house when you weren't meant to
with
be
binoculars, like stalking him. No.
Yeah, like Joe Goldberg off You.
No, that's you actually. No, I was like, I think it just made sense, honestly. And yeah, it's been really good for us.
And for you, Gia, how is Alan different to previous relationships?
He is literally the opposite of everyone I've ever dated. I just think, like, first of all, he's really funny and I'm always laughing, and that's really important to me. I need someone who's not serious because I'm quite serious. I need the balance.
Yeah, what about when I tried to ask you to get a McDonald's on our first date? That was.
But now I eat McDonald's all the time.
Let's tell people about that.
Yeah.
I think Alan joked that she's like, "Where are you taking me on a date?" It goes Macca's. And that was a whole...
I said, I can get us a good table at McDonald's. And
I was like, never mind.
And she cracked the She goes,
Don't worry about it.
she goes, no, this was straight after the MAFS and stuff. You're already sensitive as it is. I probably didn't.
The reason why I was like, now I'd be like, yeah, we'll go to Macca's. But the reason why I was so weird about it...
I didn't actually want to go to Macca's. Was a joke. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know at the time your humour, but at the time, because of the Scott thing, I was like, I just want someone to put effort into me. I just want to feel wanted. I want to feel like somebody's like...
What's wrong with the McSmart meal?
Well, now I love a McSmart meal, but I'm saying, like, I wanted someone to, like, put in effort at that point because I felt like with the Scott at the end, it felt, like, very one-sided. So I was like, the next guy needs to, like, throw his hat in the ring and, like, court me a little bit and, like, make me feel special. And when he said that, I was like, nah, like, you're not going to make me feel special taking me there, you know?
So we went to Grilled instead.
Yeah. The grilled burgers are better. So.
And do you want to talk about the moment, Gia, you told Willa that she was going to have how did that sibling? How did that happen?
I don't remember how we told her.
It was like 4 months ago. Like we told her she was one of the first.
She was the first. I think.
Like what was her reaction like? Because I'm excited for her. Yeah,
she couldn't believe it because she's been an only child for in a month 10 years. And I always told her, nah, I'm not going to have another one, sorry. Every year, can I have a brother or sister? I'm like, no, like I haven't met that person. I'm not going to go just have a baby on my own. So, yeah, she was shocked, but she's very excited that it's a sister for her. So, she can't wait. She's over the moon.
And for you guys, was having a kid something you guys wanted? Were you guys actively trying? What was that like?
No, I think we were sort of just like...
We weren't being careful.
Yeah. Our pull-out game's not great.
No, I mean, when you first meet and you're really into each other, you're doing it a lot, that was what we were doing. We didn't really care. But also, we had these conversations that we both wanted the same things. So I was like, look, I'm looking for commitment. I'm looking to have another baby. And he was like, I want the same stuff. So it just worked out.
So how many times were you guys having sex a day?
A day?
Oh, I don't know.
At the beginning?
Don't know, yeah.
Oh, we'd get drunk and, be crazy at the very beginning. I mean, it was summer, it was over New Year's, we're at the beach house, great. It's where we first told each other we love each other. We were really drunk that night. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're just like, if it happens, it happens. And we were both, obviously, Will had moved in at this point and we were just like, we're all in, or we're just, we knew this was something serious and we're like, okay, if something more was to happen, we were open to it, and obviously now it has, and we've just embraced it, and our families are happy, and we're happy, and our family and friends are happy, and we cop the odd friggin' message on our photos and stuff that people think this is a joke and stuff, but at the end of the day, you don't need their validation. We've got our little bubble of friends and who we talk to, and that's all you need. You only need a few good friends. You don't need some freaking Karen from Denmark drilling us about this is too early and this that. How
old are you guys?
Yeah, should we clear that up?
Yeah, I think we need to clear that up.
I'm over the fact that that he's 12 and I'm 50 apparently. So how old are you? Tell us your date of birth.
24th of May 1990.
11th of January 1990. Born in the same year.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me, people in the comments, that I need Botox. I can't take it when I'm pregnant. So,
what's your take now of? I feel like you've sort of stripped it back a bit, gone a bit more natural, like not caring as much on the filters, all of it. So what's that been like for you?
I was heavy on them. I feel like I was very insecure coming off the show. Obviously, you get some of the angles you see yourself on TV, it's not that flattering and you're like, God, I look terrible.
But you
and
don't need to hear it
obviously
from people, though.
the people can be ruthless. Some of the comments I've received, like, I look like this. I look like people convinced I was transgender. And I was like, well, clearly not. All the comments, and I didn't do much to change myself. I just kind of accepted, like, this is who I am and I'm going to love myself. He loves who I am and how I look, so do I really care what anyone else thinks?
But I think, like, and even you'd agree with this, like, you do, like, as the show was airing, you probably did, like, that did start to affect you a bit.
Yeah,
like,
I got quite insecure,
quite upset as well, and that wasn't nice to see. Obviously, I wasn't watching the show, like, I didn't want to get, like, thrown off the course, but she did have some hard weeks where she was emotional and it was hard for her and it wasn't easy for me to see because obviously I wasn't watching the show, so I couldn't sort of relate with why she was feeling how she was, but you did take a bit of a hit from some of the comments and some of the you'd read on socials and that, and we sort of had to just I think we just jumped off socials for a bit in the end because this was too much.
As much as you want to ignore it, like, you start to believe it a little bit, like when it's so much, like I would say to him, like, do you even think I'm pretty? Like, am I even pretty? I started really second guessing myself, whereas if you see me at the beginning of the show, I was so confident. I thought I was so good, and then I thought I was bad, and then I was like, oh, I'm not even, like, apparently I'm disgusting, like, according to half the country. So
what's your take on the, like, are you still getting trolled? What's that like for you?
The only place that I'm getting trolled on is the Women's Day thing, but no, my TikTok is my favorite place because I don't get any bad comments anymore. I only get good messages. I've kind of, like, made a change there. I've been showing people who I am a bit more instead of like the stupid videos, like, so people, I've got some comments lately that people, like, I absolutely hated you and now I like you, so I'm happy that I can finally show who I am and not just try and rage bait people for views, which is what I was doing when I came off the show. So
there we go. And for you, Gia, what was the reality of, like, actually going on the show and doing it and filming it, and
it's
like, what was it? What you thought it was going to be?
No, it's like torture, honestly.
It's isolating, prison.
Like, was it worth it?
No, I mean, yes, now, because I wouldn't be in this position. I wouldn't be with Alan.
We wouldn't have met you as well, like,
Wouldn't have met you, yeah. Like, so, like, now looking back, I still would have done it. I would have done it way different, but I probably would have left halfway through when I told you and called you and said I want to run away and I want to get off the show. I should have just done that then.
Why do you think you didn't?
I mean, production were really heavy on me staying. Every time I would threaten to leave or say, like, I actually just want to leave, like, just let me go, they would sit there for 2 hours and convince me why I should stay. And you believe it, because at that time you're isolated, you can't talk to anyone else. So you believe these people are your friends. You believe your producer is your best friend, and you're like, oh yeah, you know what, I'm spending 10 hours a day with this guy for the last 2 months. Yeah, like, but no, they're not your friends. They're there to do a job at the end of the day, and you'll just get manipulated if you believe them.
Do you know who aren't also your friends? Is your co-stars. I feel like everyone goes on MAFS thinking these co-stars are my best friends. We're going to be friends forever. Reality is you're not talking to them months later.
Well, the ones that are your best friends during the experience all just dropped you when the edits come out and the TikTok started happening and they started doing all their little, they sort of jumped onto the I obviously didn't watch it.
Or jump on to whoever's
popular. The flavour of the week.
Yeah. And that's a warning to the new MAFS people as well. Like, the people that you think you're really close with now, if your edit goes one way, don't expect them to still be standing there publicly saying, hey, I'm friends with you, because that wasn't the case with me. I had people that I was very close with that I backed till the end, even when they were looking bad, but they wouldn't do the same for me. So for me, I'd rather have no friends than fake ones.
Yeah.
I've reconnected with Juliet, and I believe she's one of the realest on the show, that no one saw the side that you've even met her and you think she's amazing.
She's so lovely, yeah.
And yeah, I'd rather have one. I've talked to Mel as well. I'd rather have 2 good friends from the show than 10 fake ones.
Yeah. And what was sort of your reaction when Stella reached out? Because I know you weren't her biggest fan, and
yeah, well, she commented on our pregnancy post, but I couldn't see it because she'd blocked me. So Alan sent me a screenshot. And I was like, I can't even reply, but I remembered I had her phone number. So I sent her a text and I said, I really appreciate you writing that comment. I couldn't reply, so I want to say here, privately, you know, I'm grateful. And she wrote back and said, I'm really happy for you. And yeah, it was good, her coming out and saying that. I was shocked that she would even say anything nice. So yeah, it was good.
And did anyone else message you that you weren't sort of surprising or was surprised to hear from?
No. You know, when people publicly write it on a post, I don't see that as them really congratulating me. Like if I saw Rebecca write on there, like, congrats, but I'm like, well, you have my number. Why didn't you just text me, you know?
That's disappointing. I think, weren't you close with her?
I was very close with Rebecca. So, you know, and she actually knew things that were going on with me. You know, I had surgery and stuff. Like she knew that I wasn't feeling well and that I was struggling and stuff. So I would have thought she would have texted me. But again, some people don't have the same care that you have towards them, you know? But yeah, no, I didn't hear from really anyone else except for Mel and Juliet.
What's next for you? Would you like to do more reality TV? I know you sort of put your hand up for the block. What sort of, where's your mind at now?
Well,
you were going to do Traders.
Yeah,
you wanted to do Traders.
My manager was actually considering getting me Traders for this season that's filming in October, but obviously I got pregnant. They can't have me on Traders, but I would love to go on Traders the following year when this baby's out. Like, we'd love to go on the block.
Yeah, that's definitely something we want to do.
Yeah, the block or together I think would be hilarious, him and I. And I would do Traders as well.
What advice would you give to MAFS cast now? Obviously they're filming. It's their first week in the apartments.
I'm talking to half of them now anyway, aren't you?
I'm talking to a couple of them.
Are you talking to any of them?
Yeah, I'm not going to throw them under the bus though, because they're probably getting drilled enough about who they're talking to. Yeah, hang in there and don't get manipulated. Don't think that these people are your friends and don't take it that serious when if you're late for your curfew, like they will drill you. It's all right. You can be a bit late. You can be like, they're not going to kick you off the show. They need you. So just remember, you're the star of the show. They need you more than you need them. So. But
what if they get a bad edit if they don't listen to production?
Well, they're probably going to, and then I'll have to help you guys come along. Like, you know, like I said, I'll be friends with the people that are the villains because I feel like the villains are the most misunderstood people coming off these shows. But yeah, just hang in there and yeah, I'm sorry in advance.
Is there anyone you're not looking forward to seeing tomorrow night?
We already saw Bec at the airport.
Well, that's it. We were actually planning to have Bec in studio joining us to sit down with Gia, but she backed out last minute.
Why?
I think she demanded a bit more money. So
I was happy to do it. I think it's behind us. I've said that publicly. I don't have anything bad to say about her. I was happy to have this conversation because I know viewers and the public are wondering what happened and why I'm okay with her now. And, you know, I would like to give them that conclusion because I feel like all they saw is the back and forth beef. But again, she didn't want to have that conversation. So
what actually happened? Because I heard that you, was it... you guys reconnected or messaged each other recently? What was that about?
I messaged her, yep. I did a video... Well, I did a video saying she was getting her procedure done, and I did a video saying, like, basically, like, she can do that if she wants. Everyone can do their own thing with their own bodies. I just wanted to make it not like, I know she was getting attacked online and I did feel bad for her. She then retaliated and did a video basically saying, you know, I'm irrelevant, you know, I've got nothing going on. I feel like I have a lot going on. I'm pregnant, you know. But I let that go. And then I saw she did the Ella podcast and said she's happy for me and Alan. So I did send her a message and just say, you know, I'm happy that you're at where you're at. And thank you for saying what you said on the podcast, and let's just leave it.
Yeah. I think
and then she said, I'll see you at Ali's birthday party.
I think we'll just keep it pretty... We've already said, like, there's a few people we probably don't want to, like, you know...
Oh, I have no beef with anybody personally. I would never...
There's a few people who probably want to get stuck with a combo, or if we can avoid it, we will, you know.
And obviously, people are going to be drinking and stuff. I can't. I'm pregnant. I'm not interested in engaging in fighting or any of that anyway. I'm at a different place now. But, you know, if they've got a problem, that's their own problem on their own.
Let's talk about that, because I think didn't you like slow down or sort of quit drinking before you got pregnant? So sort of tell us.
Well, I reckon you like towards when I first
so tell us about that.
Yeah, I feel like you know, we both had a few too many drinks a few times, and sometimes you just like you don't need to get to that point, you know, and you're like, okay, this is not where we're sort of trending, and we sort of just backed it off a bit.
Well, also like I did see some of the dinner parties where I was drunk.
We saw your birthday.
Yeah.
Well, and my birthday, and I think these things only have happened when I'm drunk. And I'm thinking, if I go to dinner, like we had our gender reveal with the 40-something people there, not one argument happens.
No.
Like nothing ever happens because I'm not drinking. So I took a step back from that. I think watching myself at some of the dinner parties, how I acted, I was embarrassed, and I thought I should probably, not that I had a problem with alcohol, I just think I just become
You've
an
got a 10 out of
obnoxious,
like 1 or 2.
annoying person. I just need to not be that. So, I took a step back, and then we got pregnant anyway.
So what's next for you? I know you've got a podcast coming up.
Yeah, potentially.
You've already announced that, so you're doing it.
Yeah, me and Miranda from Farmer Wants a Wife. That's really excited. We've done our pilot, and it's very juicy. That'll be where I take it, and then obviously have this baby, and then maybe get on a show.
Have you thought about baby names?
We have. We're not going to say it, but we've decided on our baby name.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
And plans
Alan
to get...
with an E.
Is there any plans to get married?
There's some things in place, but we're jumping one hurdle at a time.
But do you feel like pressure that like everyone, me included, is all like, when's the wedding? Are you going to propose? Do you feel like a bit of pressure to please people, or what's going on through your head?
Well, I think like a lot of people thought we were a PR relationship at the start, which was a little bit of a slap. We're like, you don't even really know how we sort of get how we are together, and I think anyone that does spend time with us, you can see we sort of bounce off each other, and the energy's always real positive. But I think at the start, because you're a fresh relationship, everyone's expecting, what's next? But now we've sort of jumped a few hurdles, and we're having a baby. So like the engagement thing at the moment is obviously in our head.
We talk about it, yeah.
But it's not like we kind of want to get this baby out healthy, make sure that Gia's all healthy, the baby's healthy, and then then we can cross that road, because like you just never know. I know when I was an early baby, I was I was real sick and had bronchitis when I was really early. So I know what it's like to put my mum and dad through that when I was real young. So you just don't know what's around the corner. So we're just taking one step at a time, and we don't need to please anyone else's timelines,
Yeah, and Gia, have you thought about, well, obviously you have, like what you would want in a wedding? Would you want a big televised wedding, or would you want...
No, I
You'll
don't
be
think
there.
so.
Yeah,
You'll obviously be there.
You'll be there filming it.
Well, I don't know. I'd want this baby out. I'd want to be back to my normal size. I'd want to be having drinks and celebrating. So for me, we want this baby out and then get engaged. And we probably would get married sooner than later once being engaged. But I think we kind of have decided we want sort of like a low-key beach thing near his parents' beach house.
Yeah, down in Mornington, Sereno sort of way.
Yeah, just because like that's where we started. We've been hanging out there, and we go there all the time with his family. It's just like...
Yeah, we spent Easter there with the family and stuff. It's,
Yeah, so probably something like that, and it won't be a lot of people. It'll be just people who are close to us and that matter.
Thanks so much for coming in. It was great to see you guys. We're now going to play a quick rapid-fire question. Who spends more money?
You. Because you... There's a package on the doorstep every day.
But a lot of
that
it's
ring
PR.
camera goes
A lot
off.
of it's PR.
Yeah.
Me.
Who do you think is more stricter with Willa?
Me.
Yeah, she comes to me for like little...
Can you tell Mum to like not yell at me?
Who checks the Instagram comments more regular?
Alan.
I reply to them all.
I don't even look at them.
Can we talk about that? You're pretty brutal in the comments. You love hitting back at all the fans.
I just feel like people
so funny. I
don't need
tell
to
him
come
to
at
get off
someone
it.
about like their looks and stuff. I feel like, and then you click on it and some guy with 80-year-old guy with glasses, big fat guts, taking a selfie as his public picture, like with 11 followers, like, a lot of the people that comment on our posts and instead of like scrolling past, it's a pregnancy announcement.
Yeah.
You don't need to, you can just scroll past. You don't need to write vile comments, or they're on a burner account. Like, and I don't appreciate the way that people speak about Gia sometimes, and
I actually tell him stop commenting back. Get off it. And he's still I'm going to keep doing it.
No, like I feel like I wouldn't be being myself if I didn't clap back at a few of the comments. Yeah.
What was your first argument?
Probably talking about MAFS. Probably me talking about MAFS too much.
Nah, yeah.
Well, actually, I remember the birthday. We heard about it's two fighting about. Everyone was talking about MAFS. I think Alan had a breakdown. Remember that?
Yeah, that's right. He was in the car saying, "Can we all stop talking about MAFS?"
Yeah, I literally Like I drove.
Yeah, actually, that was what
we
it
were
was
driving
about.
to the thing. I'm like, I can't do this.
Because even
like,
Luke was talking about it and Chris Neal was talking about it and you were just over it. I think.
Yeah.
Who said I love you first?
I reckon you.
Probably me.
But, I think we said
But
it.
then he said it
yeah.
straight away. No, that's right. It was New Year's Eve and we were I was so drunk and I was like, I love you. And he actually said it back straight away. So
Yeah, well, but you said it first.
I did say it
I need
first.
that. You just need
All right.
Everyone needs to know
And
that.
lastly, who wears the pants in the relationship?
Alan.
Thank you. Yeah.
I think that's a shock to people. They think I probably boss him around and everything. Like I'm like a puppy dog actually with Alan, and I'm like, don't be mad.
Cool, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks so much for coming in. We'll be back next week to find out what they ate for breakfast. Cool, thanks.
Right, let's get into your party. Lots of storylines happening simultaneously. One good storyline was tell me about Sammy Stanton. It was really nice to see him.
Yeah, Sammy was there with his new boyfriend.
Hard launch.
He had to go to a concert, so he popped in before, said hello, took some pics, had a few drinks.
Made a celeb appearance and he was like, oh, I've got plans, I gotta go. I was like,
Yeah, thanks.
Yay!
But we do appreciate Sammy coming.
He made the effort. Like, again, I love that man. And it was really nice he made the effort to come for a couple hours and then head off. And he looks very loved up. So go King.
Boyfriend was very nice. I think
Yeah.
he was very impressed with my stalking skills because he was like, you found my LinkedIn. I'm like, well...
Oh, brother, we're just getting started. You can find anything.
Sometimes.
Did he actually congratulate you on your stalking skills or was
Yeah,
he
he
more
did.
like spooked
No,
out?
no, he was just like, oh, I'm impressed. Yeah.
Was he hard to find or easy to find?
No,
'Cause
it
Sam
took a
kept it
while.
quite
No, Sam,
secretive
it was
to
hard.
hold.
It was,
Yeah.
It was harder to find than the new MAFS cast.
Because I remember at our MAFS dinner party, Sammy was talking about, he wasn't revealing too much info, but he was like, I'm seeing someone, oh my gosh, but wouldn't tell us for obvious reasons. And there was another couple at your party who almost used your event as a statement to put some rumours to bed.
Yes, so it was the first time we've seen Evelyn and Duncan step out for an event
Yes.
in ages. I don't remember the last time they came out, and I had a great time.
Because people thought they were split, so
Well, yeah, actually, they hadn't been posting photos of each other on socials for quite a bit, so they made their yearly appearance.
yeah, no statement needed.
That's what I love about them, is that they're so sort of confident within themselves. They don't have to be attached to the hips.
No statement needed. They just rocked up together and hey, they're together putting those rumours to bed. And we had some reality TV royalty in the room.
Did we?
This is when you go Bear and Sunny.
Oh, okay. I don't know if they'd be what royalty, but
that's not-
alright.
this is
no,
so
we'll keep it. Yes, they joined us. So Bear and Sunny had such a good time hanging out with us when we invited them onto the podcast
Yes.
that they wanted to come out and meet.
They scored an invite to your party.
Yeah.
And they brought the vibes. Insert video of Tom, Emily and Bear.
And also, Sunny was like full dancing, taking selfies with everybody.
She was vlogging
I
the
know.
whole night.
She did more than half the entitled MAFS people did.
Yeah.
So good on her.
Doing the absolute most, Sunny.
Yeah, no, love her.
No.
Thanks, Sunny.
Now, there's one story we have deliberately saved till last. Dun, dun, dun. And that was having Bec Zacharia and Gia Fleur in the same room.
It was the first time they got together since filming ended.
Yeah, and didn't leave on the best of terms, eh?
No.
I mean, they were avoiding each other the whole night.
Yeah.
It was like there was a force field between them and, you know, one would walk that side of the room, the other would make sure they were over there.
Well, that's right. If Gia walked to the left or went and got some food, then Bec would go the other way.
Very strategic positioning going on.
They actually had an awkward run-in the day before.
Where? What happened?
So at the airport, Bec was having a vape in the smokers area, and then I was picking up Gia and Alan, and they just crossed paths, and it was just so awkward. But they just said hello to each other.
Okay, yeah, I guess being civil, but
And
they
then-
clearly
yeah.
don't like each other and will avoid.
Yeah.
They will have minimal contact with one another, as we saw at the party. There was tension.
Yeah. Well, they just want nothing to do with each other. It's better if they're not friends.
And everyone at the party was like, are we going to get... It was like the elephant in the room. Like, are we going to get a confrontation? Who's going to say something? Like, you've got your eyes over there, then you're looking at Bec, then you're looking at G. You're like, is something going to happen? But there was no blow-up. Hallelujah.
I think this is the first time I was actually worried about drama happening in my party, because normally there's never any drama. Everyone's there to have a good time, and this is the first year I was just like, do I have to be worried?
No, you're the birthday guy. You don't need to be worried. You just enjoy
but
your
it's
night.
also MAFS 2026 cast.
This is true. But they also made sure they had their buddies to, kind of their posses to
That's right.
have.
Yeah.
So Gia was with, who was she?
Gia was hanging out with her ride or die Juliet the entire time.
Yes, they were inseparable that night.
Yes.
Which is also bizarre because I remember in your interview with Juliet beginning of the year, how Juliet wasn't even invited to Gia's birthday.
That's right.
In February, but now they rock up.
Well, Juliet
together.
did get us invited to my party.
Yeah.
So did Joel.
Yes.
So-
Joel being Juliet's ex. Those two also didn't end on good terms. So I would say the two biggest feuds of the night where there was tension was, the Gia and Bec feud, and then the Joel and Juliet.
Yes, well, I think
feud.
Juliet and Joel actually didn't cross paths at all. So Gia asked Joel if he was going to say hello to Juliet, and he said no. Juliet had no interest in talking to Joel.
Fair enough, which is understandable with how things ended.
Well, he was saying really nasty things about both Gia and Juliet, including on this podcast, so...
Yeah. No wonder. Why would you want to chat to one another,
I mean, there was people that straight out said no to coming to the party because they didn't want to be in the same room.
Who was that?
So Rachel said no because she didn't want to see Steve-O.
Oh.
Scott obviously said no because he didn't want to be in a room with Bec or Gia.
Understandable. So yeah, a fun night overall, but a lot of tension within the room. And you mentioned how Bec turned down a sit down with Gia, but she was still going to do a sit down, just not with Gia, and she came in a couple days after you.
Well, that's right, yeah. So she came in a few days, and here's our chat. Bringing Bec back on the couch.
Bring back.
Bringing Bec back on the couch, ready to unleash. It's been 12 months since you signed up for MAFS.
I know. Wild.
Who is Bec compared to the woman that walked down the aisle?
Oh, a completely different person, Ali, if I'm honest with you. I think the person that walked down the aisle thought that I had my together. And I thought that I was this super confident, can't touch me girl. And I look back and I just think, oh my God, you were definitely not super confident. You were definitely, I was walking down at the mercy of of a man wanting, if he wanted me, then my life was going to be perfect. And I think I'm just a completely changed person from there. I think my confidence has grown, my enthusiasm for life has grown, that my love of life has completely changed. The things that are important to me now are just so different to what was important to me back then. And yeah, I'm just overall just so much happier.
I was just going to ask, has going on the show made your life better or worse?
Oh, there's a bit of this and a bit of that, but overall, I feel like one of the luckiest girls in the world to have gone through that experience. Not only because I've met some of the most amazing people with my life, you included. And
thanks.
I've got friends. You're welcome. I wouldn't say if I didn't mean it. But it's taught me things about myself that I never would have learnt if I hadn't have gone on. But overall, even though there's tough times, it's the best thing I've ever done.
And for you, what's sort of been the hardest part of it all? What's the hardest part returning to normal life?
I think the hardest part for me is certainly that people have a preconceived idea of me from an edited TV show. They think that they know me. And I think even you would know that, what you've watched on TV is not who I am. It's definitely elements of it in that stage of my life. Of course, I said what I said, I did what I did. But that's not all of me, And it was funny, actually, because I was talking to the air hostesses today on my flight over, and they turned to me and they said, Bec, we see you with pretty much all of the cast on your social media. Chris and Steve-O, Rachel, Stella, Phil, Rebecca, Sammy Stantz, Gay Chris, and she was and she said to me, you can't be that bad of a person if you're a year on and you've maintained all these friendships and you're still to this day seeing them. And I was like, yeah, I know. People think that Stella and I hate each other, and, I speak to Stella every second day now after a breakup and stuff like that. they've got a preconceived idea of me, and what you saw was definitely elements to me of that point in my life, but that's not who I am.
Do you think Australia got to see the real Bec?
I think Australia got to see a really, really crappy version of me, for sure. And look, that's in there. Like, I think until you've sat in my seat and been in my shoes and experienced what I experienced, you can't really judge. Obviously, it's for entertainment, the show, but I don't think they saw the real me. Do you?
Well, this is my thing. I need to confess something. I never watched every single episode of MAFS.
Yeah.
I never watched your infamous...
You're dead to me.
I never watched your infamous dinner party number
Dinner party 3.
So for
Shut
me,
up, newbie.
No, but for me,
newbie.
it's like I got to, and maybe this is why I still like you, because I never saw that. You know, I got to judge you based on the Bec I got to see in real life.
But even like, think about it, right? Look at the show that was Gia's birthday party.
Yeah.
I was the only person pretty much at that birthday party that was standing there saying, you and I, and Chris Robinson, that was standing there saying, the way you are all behaving is atrocious. Stop it. Like, so yeah, you saw bad versions of me and unhealed versions of me on the show, but that's not who I am in real life. You know, like.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And there is vulnerable, fun,
loving,
sides of you, and that's the Bec I got to meet. So
yeah, it's the Bec I think as well.
Yeah. And I think for me, that's why it's just like I get abused all the time from people saying, why are you friends with this person? Not just you, but just why are you friends with this person? Why are you friends with this person?
Yeah.
That's because I get to see all versions of everyone. So it's just like...
Well, it's an edited TV show, right?
Yeah.
And it's edited for entertainment. So I'm not saying it's edited in what I did and how I acted and whatnot. All of that was there, but it's edited to see only certain parts. There are so many other elements that, you know, we were filming 10 hours a day, you know, and there's so many parts that you don't get to see. It's edited for entertainment. And last year was all about the villainous women.
So what did you learn about yourself watching the show back?
I learned that I was putting all of my eggs in a basket of a man, right? Not even just Danny, but in general. I thought that if I was in love and I had lost a little bit of weight and I, that I would instantly be loved. And that's just not the case. There were so many past traumas that I thought I had healed that I learnt that I hadn't. And I needed to be in love with myself for anyone else to love me back. And so I'm on a journey and, you know, I'm confident. I mean, I came to your birthday party in a see-through dress with not much else on. Thank you very much. Like, I'm loving me and who I am, and I'm also loving the person I've become from dealing with the adversity of MAFS, the backlash, the hate. But what I will say is, one thing I've learned is that all these people that think that they're such a better person than me are the people writing the most heinous messages to me on Instagram or on social media and stuff. And I would never even dare even think about writing something like that, you know, to someone. And it's just interesting to me that, you know, they've got this bee in their bonnet, but you're worse than me, I can tell you that much.
That's right. I want to talk about this journey you've gone on.
Yep.
Let's talk about
Snatchy.
all of it. Like you say that you're on this whole transformation journey. Let's talk about it. What sort of inspired about it? Like what's been...
Do you want me to be completely honest with you?
I want to. What sort of... Was there a moment where you go, this, I want to be hot? Like what is...
Hotter, thank you.
Hotter, yes.
Yeah. I have a friend who is on Below Deck, and she and I were talking, and she was like, do you know what? Investing in yourself, if you look the best like that you've ever looked, you feel the best you've ever looked, more opportunities come your way. And I thought to myself, there's so many parts of me that I love and there's so many parts of me that I hate. And I thought, well, if I've been presented with these opportunities, like I'm going to do a few bits and pieces to my face. I'm not going to completely change the way I look, but I'm definitely going to have a little nip tuck here. I've had my ribs done. And at the beginning, it was like, oh, it's a bit of fun. Like it's a surgery. I've been invited on my first real influencer trip and stuff like that. And I was all excited. But then when you actually get down to the nitty gritty of it, and after having it done, I was like, yeah, I love this. I'm feeling way more confident in myself. And, I think people forget that I was a big girl. I have lost a lot of weight. There are elements to my body that someone who's been fit their whole life doesn't have, loose skin and, wibbly bits here and there and whatnot. But, I'm on a skin journey. I was meant to get Botox in my filler yesterday, but I couldn't see my injector, so I'm a little bit wrinkly at the moment. But I just want to feel and look the best I've ever looked. And I think I owe it to myself. I've worked so hard to lose the weight, so why not? I don't have a problem with anyone having plastic surgery or anything like that. And I think the reality is that I'm always going to be honest and transparent about it, because there's so many influencers and these people that girls follow out there that have had so much work done and they've never told a soul. But then these young girls think that they're just not as beautiful as these people, but actually you put them next to a fire and they melt. That's the reality. They've had 100 different surgeries and stuff. So I'm just going to go on this journey and be transparent as much as possible. And I don't really, I'm met with a lot of people that are really happy and excited for me to do that and want me to be transparent. And then I'm met with people that are like, you're irresponsible and you're this, that and the other. I am going to do what is authentic to me and I think is the right thing, and that's going to be completely and utterly transparent about everything I get done.
And your ribs, that caused a lot of fuss online.
Huge.
Did you think it was going to cause so much of a reaction with everyone?
Look, anything I do seems to cause a reaction. But no, I didn't think that it would get to the extent it got. I mean, we're on breakfast TV shows, we're on the radio, all across the internet, girls who think that they know what's happening and they're saying you're getting ribs removed or going on TikTok and getting hundreds of thousands of likes and they don't even know what the surgery is and stuff like that. I thought that by partnering with Josh and documenting my journey that there would definitely be a little bit of traction. I was always going to be open and honest about what I was doing, but I never thought that it would go as viral and as intense as it did. But, this has been going on in America for a long time. There are some extremely famous faces that have had this done in America. They've never talked about it, but they have. So, yeah, I mean, people thought that we're getting our ribs removed. I mean, I'm not Prince. I'm not Michael Jackson. I'm not doing it to go down on myself. Jesus Christ. That's what isn't that what Prince did it for?
Marilyn Manson, I think.
Marilyn Manson, that's
Marilyn
it,
Manson,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not doing that. It's not rib removal. It's rib contouring. And I was nervous about it. So I was excited, then I got nervous. I stopped. I talked to other surgeons around Australia because they do it in Australia, guys. They do. Yeah. Even though the media is saying, people are saying you're going to die and this, that and the other. It was just ridiculous. And then I made an informed decision and decided to get it done, and I couldn't be happier. I'm really happy that I've done it, and I'm ecstatic with my results, and I'm coming up to the end of week 5 and I've still got, 6 weeks to go from week 6. So, yeah.
Does it feel any different?
Show you?
Can we? Yeah.
I'll stand up.
That's it. Thanks. Do you feel any different?
My waist is definitely smaller. You go in.
So how does this work? Tell us about it. Do you have to, there's different levels, those that you twist around.
So you twist them around and they go in and in and in. So, hang on a minute.
Do you feel snatched? Do you feel like
my waist is tiny. I was quite a block before. Do you want me to show you a before photo?
We'll show us. Yeah, we'll show
I'll send it to you. So now it's.
Does that feel comfortable though? When you sit down, or is there anything you can't do? Do you take it off in the shower?
I take it off in the shower, and just recently I took it off during intimacy.
Okay, sure. We'll get there.
Just recently. And then so what you do is you can go like this. So at night when I sleep, I don't have it as tight. but during the day, what you're doing, you want to contour your ribs in, right? You want it to be tight and secure. And so that's what's...
Yeah.
Because they go in with a tiny 1 millimeter needle, 3 needle points down, 3 needle points here, no blood, no incisions, no cuts, no nothing. It's just a needle and like ultrasonic vibrations and stuff. And it essentially kind of fractures the lower floating ribs.
Yeah.
So you've got ribs that protect your vitals, and then you've got lower floating ribs that expand and contract for when you're pregnant and stuff like that. And so what's happened is they've taken these ribs that are like this, like the 3 ribs that are like this, they've kind of like ultrasonically kind of fractured them a little bit, and they've moved them in, and then you wear the corset, and then the results are forever.
So definitely no rib removal then.
There's no rib removal.
Everyone thinks you got the ribs taken out, right?
Yeah, so people think I've got ribs taken out. But it's quite funny, isn't it? Because when you get a rhinoplasty, you get your nose done, they go in and they actually chip away part of your ribs. And that is way more invasive and intensive than what I've had done. Albeit, like, you know, people can be worried, and I appreciate the concern. But at the end of the day, I had it done and I took paracetamol for 4 days and haven't taken a painkiller since. So, yeah.
So you got, how long do you have to wear that for?
So 12 weeks in total. At 10 weeks, you can start taking it off for a little bit more time a day. So what I'll do is I shower and I take it off, whether it's an everything shower or not. And then I also, every single night, I also sit in front of my red light LED infrared therapy panel, and I sit there completely naked because I've got loose skin and, you know, you want healing and stuff. So I take it off for an extra 20 minutes. So I've probably got it on for 23 hours and 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes in the shower, 20 minutes in front of the red light therapy. So 40 minutes a day it's off.
And what are you doing for yourself to look after yourself?
Well, Sammy Stanton has just installed a new sauna in his gym at 360. So I pretty much live inside that sauna. I've just started incorporating a little bit. You can't really train. So normally I'd weight train. So I've put on a little bit of weight. And to be honest with you, like normally in life, if I have put on weight, I feel really low about myself. But I'm just like, do you know what? 2 kilos up, like take it as it is. Like you're still worthy. You're still beautiful. You still, you know, you still deserve good things. So I'm walking every day with Coco, of course, trying to get my 10,000 steps in. I'm unemployed, so it's easy to do. And saunaing every day. You love a sauna. You know the benefits of it.
I've been going most days.
And then I'm going to try and start doing some very light weights, seated. So at week 6.
Yep.
Which is this coming Tuesday, I'm going to incorporate some very light seated weights at home. A friend of mine owns a gym here in Sydney, and a very popular gym here in Sydney, and she's sort of given me a little bit of a plan just so I can get myself moving a little bit, because I don't want to lose the momentum that I had prior to getting it done.
Yep. And I know you just mentioned you're unemployed.
Yeah. Well, I work on social media.
So what are you doing now for how am
I getting my money?
Yeah.
Well, sugar dad. No, I'm just kidding. I am working via social media, so I've got affiliate links for certain things. I get paid for appearances.
I mean, you're in Sydney. You've got a
I've got an appearance
event coming up.
Yeah, I've got an appearance tonight. So I've been flown to Sydney to appear at an event for Sheepdog Whiskey, which we love. Their new peanut butter and jelly whiskey, which is like so good. So yeah, I'm just really lucky and fortunate that people believe in me, and I think I'm working, you know, there's a couple of brands that I'm in conversations with at the moment, which is really exciting. So it's mostly social media and appearances. So.
And is that what you thought life was going to look like going on to MAFS a year ago?
Oh, do you know what? I thought life was going to look like, I was the dumb one, right? I was the actual dumb one that was like, this is it. I'm going to meet my soulmate, the man of my dreams, and I am going to leave in love, and whatever comes after that will be amazing. That didn't happen. So this is a pretty good second option. And I went through the ringer, you know. I went through the ringer while that show was airing. My
sure did.
God. So I'm just really grateful. I feel really, really lucky for the opportunities that I'm being given and brands and people believing in me and, you know, and the way that I sort of present myself and my transparency. I feel pretty blessed.
You've also had a bloody wild 12 months. You got to come off MAFS. You went to Fashion Week.
Yeah, MAFS, Fashion Week, New
You lost your
Zealand,
Instagram account.
Bali, lost my
Got it back.
Instagram account because of a girl that misled the public. Yeah.
But you got it back, and
Got it
like
back,
that was just
yep.
you've been through so much.
Yeah, and I've learned a lot.
Yeah.
And, you know, there was so much I could say on, you know, when I lost my Instagram, that was really, really a scary moment for me. And there was so much that I could have said. But I chose to stay quiet. And if people want to believe that narrative, they can believe that narrative. You know, I might still bring out the receipts, but you know, if that's what people want to do, they want to try and bring someone down by misleading the public, then do it. But I came back and I kept my composure and I moved forward with respect. And I think that that's more than other people can say. So yeah, but it's been wild. New Zealand, Bali, Fashion Week, losing your Instagram, not knowing what I'm going to do, lost my job. Now I've got this job, which is like the biggest blessing ever, like to be able to work from home and give my family, like I see my grandparents all the time. I can look after my sister when my father goes away and, you know, my dog and I, and I get to travel. Like I'm so lucky, man. I'm so lucky.
What I do, I just like speaking about your family is initially when you decided to go rogue, that was one of the reasons you wanted to speak out.
Yep.
Was you didn't like the narrative sort of being out there and it was taking a sort of toll
on my family very much.
On your personal life. Like you didn't care about your edit. It was
about my
your family life, like personal life that was being affected.
Yeah, I think when the worst version of you is sort of being thrown onto TV screens, and like we were the highest rated season ever.
I think it was the most watched
season ever.
Yeah.
So that's millions and millions and millions of people, nightly, weekly. And, you know, like I've been raised, you know, a certain way. I've been given everything in my life, you know, from, you know, my education to my family values and the way I've been taught to treat people and raised and stuff. And, you know, the worst came out in me. And I still stand by the fact that I think unless you are in my shoes and, you know, 1 minute, like I think when you're being gaslit and told one thing and another thing, eventually after 3 months of it intensely, you do lose your marbles, and I did. But I did. I went rogue and I started talking to you. I spoke to other podcasters and I got my story out there. And I did that because my family were getting affected. You know, they were upset. They were sad. They didn't understand because they weren't used to that side of me. So, but now it's all calmed down and everyone's good. Everyone's happy. It's quite funny, to be honest with you, because, you know, everyone's like, she's the most hated person in Australia, but the amount of things that I have to go to from my family and my friends because people want to meet me and have photos and, you know, actually get to like meet me is hilarious because, you know, while it was airing, it was like, I was like, I'm going to be disowned.
Just want to say, I don't think I've ever spoken to anybody that has told me I've met Bec and she's been a or any single person that has met you has come back to me and said, oh, she's actually so nice. Sweet. And they were surprised with how nice you were, because some people might have been scared
100%
to meet you, and then they meet you and they're like, oh.
Yeah, not scary at all. Like just completely, like I'm a geek, man. I'm actually the biggest loser. And really, like, seeing people smile, like, that's what we want, isn't it? Think about it. Like, even at your party on the weekend, like, you know, I'm sure we'll get into it, but, like, if I was the type of person that was presented, you know, fully, if that was me at my core, then, you know, being presented with the devil herself, Juliet, and, you know, Gia, like, surely I would have caused a ruckus, but I just stayed in my lane and did my own thing and partied with my friends and left them to it. I could feel the eyes burning in the back of my head everywhere I walked. But it's just like, you do you stay on your side, I'll stay on my side, and let's just be respectful about it.
Yeah,
you know?
well, do want to say thank you for coming.
You're welcome. It was
and
amazing.
What was that like to walk in a room not knowing who you're going to see, and obviously your arch nemesis is there apparently? There was a TikTok coming out a day before.
See, this is what I don't understand, because there was conversations about Gia and I sitting down for a podcast, right, together with Unleashed before your party. And this is why I declined that offer, because I woke up one morning to a message from Gia very sporadically, very randomly. And it was like, thank you for talking kindly about me on a different podcast I'd done. And of course, you know, if someone's pregnant, we're going to wish that person well and hope that that baby is born full term and healthy, right? That's me. That's how I roll. So then straight after my response, which was exactly what I just said, congratulations, genuinely happy for you, move on, there was a TikTok being like, the war is over. And I'm thinking, that came out of nowhere, but okay. But then because I don't know whether or not it's because I declined to do a podcast or what it was, but then all of a sudden I'm seeing my arch nemesis and might go down, and it's like, well, this is why I refuse to sit down with her, because nothing is ever linear.
No,
Like,
I don't think Gia had known that you pulled out by that stage.
Right.
Yeah, she just did that without you declining.
But that, for me, just
I think that was your, okay, made the right move.
Yeah, for sure. Like, two people can agree to have respect for one another. Well, I can have respect for her and you know, keep a boundary of, we will never be friends, and you will never sit at my table, but I wish you well, and that's where I'm at. Like, I don't know TikToks about, you know, arch nemesis and this and that and what's going to go happen. Oh God, no.
Do you think you guys were ever genuinely friends?
Yeah. Yeah, we were. We were certainly genuinely friends, but the people I carry in my life and the people I have in my life, the toxicity of that, we don't work the way that I think Gia's used to working. And I don't know whether or not that's the friends she's had in her life or her time in Playboy and stuff like that. But for me, I find that it's, I mean, we saw it on the show.
Yeah.
You know, the going between me and Juliet and the text messages and this and that. I just want a plain, happy, simple life. I want to eat caviar, eat oysters, drink champagne and cook food for my friends, and everyone sit around a table and enjoy a really, really good night. That's what I want, you know?
Love that.
Yeah.
Can I ask, what did Gia do that sort of hurt you the most? Like, what was it that you just went, nah?
It wasn't anything in particular. It was the consistent, like, not understanding why, if we were such good friends, she would say one thing to me, but then, I'm just going to use an example, right? This is not something that's happened, but I'm just going to use an example. And let's use Mel, for example, right? Because baby Mel is just like, yay, in life, right? So say Gia would ring me and say, don't you reckon Mel looked like a whore on the weekend? Like, what a slutty outfit. What the f***? And I'd be like, oh, yeah, kind of. Like, maybe. Like, you know, power to free the nip, whatever. And then Gia would get off the phone to me and ring Mel and be like, I just spoke to Bec. She said that you look like a slut on the weekend. And and then you'd have this person ringing you, and Luke and I dealt with it a couple of times. Rebecca and I dealt with it. Chris Nilden and I dealt with it. I was just like, I am 36 years old. I don't thrive on drama. I thrive on peace, calm, happiness, good food, good wine, and good vibes and sunshine. That's what I want for my life. I'm not in high school, and that's where I had to go. With all due respect, I'm going to go into publicity of this show and I'm going to try and be kind. But then, you know, she came out when the show was airing, you know, with fists swinging and, you know, Bec had PR the whole time. Me, I wish I had PR the whole time. I wouldn't have been in the position I was in if I did would I? But yeah, it was just, we just don't match up as friends.
Yeah. which sucks. But I mean, you don't have to walk away as friends. I don't think every single person on the show is your friend.
No, and I respect her. I'm so happy for her.
Yeah.
When she met Alan, she said to me, this is my husband. This is a man that I'm going to be with. And now she's pregnant with the man that she loves. And like, I couldn't be happier for her, but I'm happy for her at a distance, and I'm happy for her. I want all the success for her, but I'm just not going to be around to see it.
And this is how I see it. Like, you don't have to be friends with someone, but you also don't have to be taking them down. You can just not talk.
Correct. And that's exactly where I'm at. You know, that's where I'm at. I don't want to be taken down. Like, it's even uncomfortable for me to have explained just then why exactly Gia and I stopped our friendship. But I suppose people deserve answers once and for all.
I think the whole thing was confusing. Like, the birthday was confusing. My bad for blowing up the birthday. I didn't think it was gonna. But look at the millions of views the birthday reels brought up. People genuinely were interested, and that became a massive storyline. Yeah,
we were friends. I flew to Melbourne for it. You know, I wish I didn't. Me, that was the day ever. But you know, we were genuinely friends. I flew to Melbourne to celebrate her, and I thought that it was a show thing, but it's not. And all I can say is I wish her all the best, and that her baby is happy and healthy, and
Moving on now, are you dating anybody right now?
Oh, Ali.
What's dating life like?
Dating life is good. I'm dating a few people. I'm here, there, and everywhere. I think I'm way more cautious now about who I give my heart and my time to, for sure. But there's a couple of people. But the problem is they're all interstate. But Rebecca, like vintage Rebecca, the other day, she was like, honey. Oh, we could call her. Do you understand what you're doing? And I'm like, what? And she was like, this is a defense mechanism. Like, she thinks that I date people interstate because it gives me that freedom to not really attach myself. So I got to speak to my therapist about it because, but there's a few boys.
What's going on with you and Marcus? Is that
I just came from Marcus's house. Marcus and I, like he just said to me, we'll never not be in each other's lives, ever. But Marcus is an avoidant and I'm an attached. And I love him with all of my heart. I adore him. He adores me. We are the closest of close. Like, I'm his next of kin in Australia. Do you know what I mean? But
cute.
There is nothing romantic going on with Marcus.
Do you think guys approach you differently now?
Yeah, there's heaps of dudes in my DMs. Yeah, but I think for me, my worry is like, are you into me or are you into it's Bec from MAFS?
Yeah, but do you find that people want to get with you because you're Bec from MAFS?
Probably some. Some I think they look at me and they think, oh, she'd be great in bed.
Yeah.
I am. No, I'm just kidding. And then others would look at me and think, what can I get out of her? And then others, there's men that I meet that don't know who I am. So
at what stage of the date do you tell them that you went on a TV show?
Never. It's mostly normally when someone comes up and asks for a photo and they're like, why did that happen? And then I say it. Because I just think that it's like so icky being like, I was on MAFS, like, just so you know, like, I'm like, you know, because we're just a bunch of nobodies, right? So, yeah, that's not really my vibe. But normally people will come up and ask for a photo and they'll be like, why did they just do that? Or like people will know your name and you'll be like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. And they're like.
Would you date another reality TV star?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course I would. And I would because, like, we're all just normal human beings, you know? So, yeah. I mean, who knows? There's some cute ones this season, isn't there?
What the new season? So, what do you know about the new season? What MAFS goss do you have for us?
I've met a couple of the grooms, actually, just in passing by accident on Sunday. Obviously, you know, it was the city to surf, so big day, and I met a couple of the current contestants. Yeah, they're so just the grooms, one bride. They were delightful. One of them is like really hot, but you know, they're married, so they're off limits. But yeah, they're really, really lovely.
What do you make of the new cast? It's
I haven't seen much because obviously it's only what you've and like I've obviously met 4 of them, three grooms and a bride. The ones that I met, nicest human beings ever, like so beautiful, and I think they're definitely a good looking cast. That's for sure. Beautiful cast, but I don't really know a huge amount. I can only speak for the ones that I've met, and they are legends.
What's advice you would give to them that they can use?
The advice that I would give to the current cast is, and I'm really sorry to the producers I'm friends with, guys. I love you. You know who you are. We speak. I love you. But when these EPs and these producers are coming up to you being like, your storyline's not going to make sense if you don't say this and you don't go and you don't do this and this, that and the other, you have to show like the passion. Do not change yourself and the way in which you would approach something because you're being pressured by producers. They're there, the producers are there to do a job and they do their job so well. How do you think they got me screaming across the table for 7 hours straight? Do you know what I mean? Like, they do their job so well, but just be 100% authentic to you. If in your gut it doesn't feel right the way in which you're speaking to someone, but you're feeling like you're doing the right thing because that's what they want, stop immediately and approach the situation the way that you normally would. They can tell you need to bring something up. They will never tell you how they think you should bring something up. And that was my downfall. I thought, because I watched all these seasons of people screaming at each other, that's how I needed to be. But you don't. You don't have to be that way. Say what you want to say and do it with respect.
What's something about making MAFS that viewers would be surprised to learn?
Whoa.
Or shocked to learn?
Making MAFS, probably the sheer amount of footage that is not shown. Like, we film, so some mornings our call time will be 6 a.m. and we won't finish filming until 7:30 p.m. Your curfew's at 9 p.m. and if you don't have food in and you finish at 7:30 or 8 o'clock, you've got 1 hour and you're back in that room. There is no ifs, ands or buts about it. You cannot fraternise with each other outside of dinner parties and commitment ceremonies at all. And if you're caught, like, I used to like make dinners and have like Luke and stuff over and like try and throw little dinner parties. So much trouble. I used to get in so much trouble. You cannot see each other outside of dinner parties and scheduled events. And if you're caught, you're in so much trouble. You have to sit down. You have to see the EPs. They get really angry at you. Yada, yada, yada.
But you wouldn't change a thing you did, right?
No, are you joking?
Yeah,
that's how I made these friends. People are like, oh, you're still friends with everyone. Yeah, because I was a rat bag and I was sneaking into people's rooms.
Which we love.
Not naughtily, obviously.
What's the biggest nightmare for production?
Me? No. Danny? No. The biggest nightmare for production. Remember that day that you found me walking around Green Square with no shoes on, no phone,
just a vape,
and a lip gloss, crying,
yes.
And then you caught me at the pub?
Yeah.
It's probably when we get to the end of our tethers, they won't give you your phone back and then you just lose it and you go down backstairs. I know Alyssa did it. I know Gia did it. I know Brooke did it. I know Chris did it. I know Danny did it. Like, when you just have to get out of there and you go rogue and when I say rogue, I mean you are done. Like, you're done. And then they're like, how are we going to get the rest of this scene? And then they have to get like Danny over the balcony with his cup of tea. Bec's chosen to leave for the day. No, I'm just at the end of my tether. My mental health is not good and I need a break.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be in Bondi all day getting massages, facials and going for a swim.
So what actually happens when you storm out a dinner party or storm out set?
Look, a dinner party is a bit different. They'll pull you aside, they'll talk to you. You can't, it's not like you're segregated, right, when you're at the dinner party because of the location. So they'll either see that you're mentally, because there's mental health advisors on site at dinner parties. So they'll sit you down and they'll either say, look, you've got to go back in, you're okay. Or if you just refuse to, often they'll just give you your phone and let you go because they know that you're going to explode and not in a good way. But when you leave the apartments, like, when Sam and Chris were moving into the apartments, I'd had enough. I'd had dinner party 3, dinner party number 3, the third commitment ceremony. I felt really, really like, because I was praised after that dinner party by, production, and then I got absolutely ripped, and I understood why, but I was done. I was over it. I wanted to get out. So at like 6:30 in the morning, Sam and Chris were moving into the apartments with their producer. And I snuck downstairs before like the house AP was up and before anyone could see me. And I walked into the lobby and they were like filming like them checking in, and I just looked at Sam and Chris and I looked at their producer and I was like, don't tell anyone I'm leaving. And he gave me 20 minutes so that I could actually get on the train and get out of there, because I think they knew that I was
Not good.
Not good. But then I just got 1,500 phone calls all day.
So
Ignore.
if Channel 9 called you today and they offered you another show,
100%.
would you do it?
Yeah, 100%. I'd do MAFS again now. I'd do MAFS again. Like, the amount that you learn from going on the show and watching yourself and then putting into play and working on yourself in therapy, the amount that you learn, if you leave MAFS and you don't grow, then you have done something wrong, for sure. Like you have to leave that show and know that there's improvement in some ways. And I feel like, yeah, I'd love for people to see who I am, and they see a little bit of an insight onto my social media and stuff. But yeah, I'd 100% say yes. Sammy Stantz and I really want to do a show together, travel guides. So
Travel guides would be cute.
yeah, Sam and I would love to do that together. But a reality show, 100%. Yeah.
So, well, you've also made a lot of reality TV friends. You mentioned
Yeah, I'm friends.
Jason from Below Deck, was it?
Yeah, I know Jason. I met Jason in Bali. He's a legend. I was speaking to him the other night. Ali from Below Deck, Daisy, just like Ash, just really good people. Like, I'm going for a drink tomorrow in Bondi with Polly from MAFS UK.
Yeah.
I think once you're in this reality TV space, I'm quite lucky because I've met the girls and the Below Deck, some of the Below Deck crew through my time in Bali, and we just really, really connected. They are just such good humans and souls, all of them. So, I'm lucky that I've sort of had experiences where it's gotten me to meet these people and people that I will now call friends forever. But we're just all normal human beings that have just had our faces on TV,
And of the people that you've met, not your co-stars,
Yeah.
is there anyone that has been not so nice to you, where you're like, oh, that's been...
Yeah. Sorrel.
Cyril wasn't nice?
No, she was awful to me on Friday night.
What happened?
Horrible. She was, I don't know, she might be friends with Gia or something, I don't know, but she was awful to me. But maybe she didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
But we were obviously in VIP at the party on Friday.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a huge amount of us.
Oh, yeah, because you met on Friday, yeah.
And she was talking to Rebecca, and I sort of sat down and I was like, oh, hi, I'm Bec, introduced myself. And she just sort of looked at me and then she was like, hi, and then moved her back so that she was like this to me, and I was sort of sitting there and she was talking to Rebecca. And it was very peculiar. It was very odd. I mean, look, horses for courses, I don't really give a to be honest with you. I don't even know what season she was on, but yeah, she was... But she probably just didn't know who I was, and that's fine, but it costs nothing to say hello.
So is that do you make an effort to be nice to strangers in public now, knowing...
Always.
Yeah, you do that sort of...
Always.
Even if you're having a day...
Always.
You try and be nice?
I will always be kind to people, yeah. Even, I remember getting off the flight from New Zealand and I flew Adelaide, Melbourne, New Zealand. I'd gotten off the flight and, look, I was flying, in luxury, which is, amazing. But I had just gotten off the flight from Auckland and this lady came up to me with her partner and she was beautiful. She was a ballroom dancer. But we'd just landed, just got our bags, and she was like, oh, you back from MAFS? I'm like, yeah. And the husband was like, can we have a photo? Of course you can. And then she started asking questions, and I was so tired. I'd just done back-to-back days of, day and night appearances for, this hospitality group. And she was just asking me the most intense questions to the point where her husband was like, darling, I think that's enough. Like I gave her a full 10 minutes, but like I was just like, oh my God, my brain is fried. But I'll still stand there and answer the questions you want answered. You know, they might not meet another MAFS person again. And, you know, they have these questions that they might not get to ask again. So I try and give everyone as much time as possible.
Do want to say though, you can see why like people get so invested. It is on TV. What is it, 4 or 5 nights? Was it 4 nights?
5 nights a week.
5 nights a week for 3 months?
No, 4 nights
4 nights a week for 3 months?
Yeah. Oh, of course. Like people, people will walk up to me and be like, I feel like I know you. And I'm like, yeah. And that's just from 3 months. Imagine being on like The Housewives or like Below Deck Southern Charm, all of those sorts of shows. Imagine people like seeing, you know, your life, but in so many stages. We just get one option at it, and it's just that 3 months, and people think they know us. But I've not been met with really any cruel people. Only one lady who, you know, in February at the Fringe, who was the biggest loser I've ever met. She was so rude, and Cyrell. Like other than that, I've been welcomed and met with open arms and kindness and smiles and a safe space to show who I really am to these people, which has been great.
I want to ask if Channel 9 could do anything to make people's experience better.
On MAFS?
On MAFS.
Yep.
What do you think needs to be done?
Look, I think that we've got to remember that this is a TV show that's done for entertainment, but I think that, you know, when they say, oh, the experts have got these, you know, the experts are doing this for you, you know, your, what's it called? Your, like at the end, like the challenges and the tasks and stuff, going to a lunch with your alternative matches, like you should be given the option, right? It's uncomfortable, it's weird. And the men really come in and they're really, really, and I know they've been told to add you on social media. They've been told to really go hard and really give it.
You think that was all set up?
100%, without a doubt. No doubt in my mind. So the task towards the end, you're so tired. You miss your family. You miss your dog, your pets, you've had no freedom really for 3 months. You know, you don't know if the guy that you're matched with loves you or not because, you know, 1 minute he says he does and then the next minute he's doing something for you and your mind's fried. So at the end there, you really lose your mind. Just be nicer, guys. Just do the tasks earlier. Do the nicer tasks at the end.
True.
You know? Also, when you say you want your phone, give us our phone. Like, my phone is my lifeline to my mum and my nan and my dad and my sister, you know, and my best friend. And they're the people I ring when I need support, mental health support or whatever it is. And sometimes you would be faced with like standing in a hallway screaming, give me my phone. It's your money. It's your maps. It's your lifeline. It's your family connections. And they just will not give you your phone. Like that day that I was at the end, the day that you saw me walking around Green Square, I had begged for my phone for 15 minutes in the hallways outside my apartment. I had begged. I was at the lowest point of my mental health I'd been in that whole show and they would not give it to me. And so that's when I ran away with no shoes on and you found me at the pub and a producer came with my phone and I sat there and I said, I won't be going back until I've had a glass of wine, probably a whole packet of cigarettes, even though I vape and don't smoke. And you'll be working on my timeline.
Love it. Good on you.
Thank you.
Is there anything you want to add before our quick game?
Just thank you for giving me the opportunity. And I hope that, you know, the new cast just know that, like, even though it's at some point, you're going to look back at where I am now, and I just look back and I'm so grateful for this opportunity. The things that it's brought me and will continue to bring me and, you know, the experiences. And overall, even though it was so hard, you're going to look back and go, this was the best time of my life. So enjoy it, guys.
That's what I tell people.
Oh.
You're welcome. But I tell people, like, just enjoy it. Like, this is actually such a cool once-in-a-lifetime opportunity you get.
It's the best. I was saying to Rachel the other night, I said, Rach, It's the first commitment ceremony, and I'm almost sad because we'll never get to do it again. And I used to fall asleep, and even John would laugh at me because I'd be like, and like even John like would be laughing at me like because I would always fall asleep. But God, they were the hardest times, but they're the best memories now. Even Danny, even Danny.
Do you miss him?
No, not at all. He's a funny man, but I don't miss him in any capacity. That part of, there's people like Marcus and I, we argue, but if Marcus and I never spoke again, I'd miss him desperately. Whereas with Danny, what he did to me was it was too far gone. So, he's a funny guy, but no, I much prefer my life without him in it. And
Sorry.
I'm sure he prefers my life without me in it, his life without me in his as well.
Sorry.
Don't be.
Who is the fakest from your season?
Gia.
Who is one cast member you simply don't trust?
David.
Who told the most lies?
Gia.
Who got away with the most?
Scott.
Who owes you an apology?
Danny.
Who do you owe an apology to?
Alyssa.
What is something you know about your season that could have changed everything, but you've been too scared to say publicly?
Oh! That Alyssa got a really bad rap at the end because something David did was heinous, and she got a really bad rap, and I think that David's very, very lucky that Alyssa didn't come out publicly and actually say what actually happened behind closed doors.
And he got away with it.
It wasn't, just FYI, there was no beating or anything like that. Let's just make sure we know that. But what he did was wrong and disgraceful.
What happened during filming that would have caused the biggest scandal had it aired?
Probably Danny and Philip sneaking off every day, and I think those two knew. I think those two were in cahoots a little bit more than they've let on about their relationships. I love you, Phil. I'm sorry. Actually, you know what I mean.
Do you think there was a moment where you considered quitting because of something viewers never sort of found out about?
100%. I considered quitting. Well, I mean, I tried to leave. I said to Danny multiple times I wanted to leave, and I've got essays of him begging me to stay because he wants to make this work. But, yeah, there were times where I would be sitting there and he would be so adamant that he was right, and it was on camera, and until I stopped and said, okay, you're right, which would be then when everything would be okay. Also, for the record, I've never punched a hole in a wall. I've spoken to all of the producers. If I'd punched a hole in a wall, it would have been aired.
That's what I got told by producers.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, that's all right though.
I was just going to ask, what is the biggest lie that has been told about you? Do you think that was it, or
the biggest lie that was told about me was for sure, certainly, that I was punching holes in walls during filming. It's just completely, categorically untrue.
She's denying punching walls.
That happened. People heard it. It's on camera.
Have you lost friendships because of the things you said or did after MAFS?
No, I haven't lost friendships. Well, I've lost a friendship with a cast, obviously, but I haven't lost personal friendships because I keep my circle close and tight, and the people that I allow in my circle or allow me in their circle, we know who we are.
And if you could expose one misconception about MAFS, what would it be?
That it's an easy ride. It's the hardest thing you'll ever do in your life, ever. It's not an easy ride. You look back and it's fun, but also that the experts match you. That doesn't happen. The producers match you.
Yep. And finish this sentence. The thing Australia still doesn't know about my MAFS experience is...
The thing Australia still doesn't know about my MAFS experience is that there were multiple times where I begged to leave, and Danny was the one that made me say that made me stay and said that he wanted this relationship to work, where I think what he wanted was fame. Oh, and that I was pulled out of. Oh no, everyone knows that now. dinner party 3, I was pulled out like 6 times by execs and stuff to go harder and go harder and go harder. What else? Think about anything I've told you that...
Well, there's the wedding day stuff.
Which stuff? What did I do on the wedding day? Remind me.
Well, that's what they wanted. Remember, like there's the strippers.
On my wedding day. They actually wanted me to. They wanted me to get on a chair and do a lap dance on Danny and become a stripper. My father looked at me and he said, "Go and sit down now." Okay, Dad.
Glad you didn't.
Absolutely. Are you joking? What? Me do a lap dance on a man I've never met before with the ugliest brooch on his bloody suit I've ever seen? Absolutely not.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for coming in. That's 100 questions.
Thanks for having me. Love you.
Love you too. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
So yes, it was a very fun night. What was the name of the venue?
Dry Martini.
Yeah.
Which is actually
Awesome
in Spice
venue.
Alley.
Yeah.
And
You've had your
Grant-
birthday there the past 2 years.
I had it there for the past 2 years. Grant Collins was in charge of the drinks and he did a great job.
Yeah. Spoil for choice. Lots of, cocktails, food. So thanks for having us. There was an after party. The vibes were continuing and we went to Pelican.
So we went to Pelicano
Yes.
afterwards,
Yeah.
where it continued.
Yes, some good fun.
Well, I actually lasted like 2 hours there, and I had enough of everyone.
I saw you there later.
Was it 3 hours then?
You all lost
I
track
don't
of
remember.
time.
Maybe.
We were there till early hours of the morning.
Yeah, maybe about 2 a.m.
But what's some after party goss that you
Well,
would
one
like to share?
particular MAFS groom.
Allegedly.
Well, it happened. One groom was
happened.
spotted leaving with 2 girls.
Well, hey!
And one MAFS bride, she's going to kill me, was spotted hooking up. Well, actually, a Love Island guy was spotted leaving a MAFS bride's hotel in the early hours of the morning. Shout out to Blue Hotel.
There was some action happening at the Blue Hotel. Man,
Thank you, guys.
happy birthday, Ali! Act excited, man. Come on, let's end the episode with the hats on. To the camera, ready? Cut.
Maybe let's not
Party's over.
break our studio.